Say you want to study dogs, right? The shape of dog eyes. And you take a picture of all of them in the same position, looking up to the upper left-hand corner of the image. And say for some reason you'd like to measure shape of dog eyes when they're laying in this very specific position. And you have 1,000 of these images, okay? So what we could do is let's zoom in, right? And we want to outline the shape of Lord Grantham's eyes. Okay, what I recommend is using one of these closed shape tools. That is, they form a closed loop, okay, with no open ends. I recommend the kidney bean tool, right? What is the kidney bean tool? Well, if I draw a half circle and release, it fills in, it closes the shape. So this kidney bean tool is very useful when you want to outline a shape that you also want to measure area for, because it completely closes the loop so that you can measure area reliably, right? Because otherwise, if you use, say here, a freehand draw tool, and I draw this and I let go, well, the shape is not closed. So if I try to measure the area of this shape, it's going to give you a really weird reading because Fiji doesn't know where the shape ends, and it gives you a measure that's meaningless. All right, so if you want to outline a shape that you want to measure the area for also, right, you want to use a closed shape tool. And so this kidney bean tool allows you to draw by freehand. Okay, say this right here, I'm tracing, all right, the shape of his eyes. And there you go. And I press T, okay, and it adds this object to ROI. I'll rename it as, okay, kidney bean. Okay, so that's the kidney bean tool. So there you go. Okay, and another option for those who don't like tracing by freehand is to use the connected polygon tool, right? So this tool, first of all, let's click this to hide the initial drawing. So this polygon tool allows you to draw, click, right, click, and draw segments of lines that are connected, right? So if I just click, if I do small segments, right, I can approximate the shape of this line. And when to close it, I double click on the square from which I started, like this one. I double click, there you go, and I press T, and now it adds this outline as a new ROI object. I will rename it and call it, all right, let's see, Polygon. You see that? Both of them outline the eyes, okay? And of course, both these are approximations in terms of, you know, what I thought was the edge of his eyes. But one is a freehand method, okay? And one is the segmented polygon method that is easier to do on a computer when you're working with a mouse or a trackpad, okay? So both of these are legitimate ways of outlining the eyes. And you just have to be objective and consistent as to which method you apply to all of your images. Okay, so let me delete this kidney bean tool so that we only have this polygon tool, okay? So there you go. So here's the polygon tool, and I can save this ROI object, okay? And if I had multiple objects, I can save it, make sure everything is unhighlighted, okay, and click save, and it'll save as an ROI set file with a .zip, okay, suffix, right? So I've outlined it, but I haven't created a mask yet. To create a mask, I go to File, New, Image, okay, and it remembers the dimensions that I put in previously, 2066, 1546 from this original image. So I click OK, all right, and now I click on this white canvas to bring it to the top. I click on ROI Manager, I click on Show All, and there you go. That's the outline of his eye. And then I click Flatten, okay, and then I can save this image because flatten means it permanently presses the blue pixels onto the white pixels. And I can save this, right? I go to File, Save, or Save As, okay? You can just save as TIFF, and then you have your mask. So this is a mask of Lord Grantham's left eye. You see that? And you can create a mask of anything. His right eye, his ears, okay? In this case, why don't we create, okay, yeah, if you found that you've drawn things you've activated a draw function and you want to get out of it, just press escape. All right, so let's do the freehand, or actually let's do the segmented line tool, right? It's a segmented tool, but it's an open shape, meaning they don't close the loop for you. So let's outline the edge of his ear here. Okay, so I click, 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 click. And of course, the more accurate you want to be, the smaller your segments you want to make. But this is just an illustration. So I will stop here. All right, and so here I could draw another line. What I'll do is I'll just but since I know I want to stop here, I'll just double click on this last box. Oops, I'll double click again. There you go, and it ended. See that? So this is an open line segment tool, so it does not automatically close the shape for you. You see that? It leaves this open right here. So I press T, and now his ear appears here. I'll rename this as ear. See that? So here, Polygon, I'll rename it as eye. Okay, so we have an object called eye, object called ear. We can see both at once right there. See that? I check show all, and they both appear. And if I want to see the labels, the numbers, this is item 1, this is item 2. And if I want to save, okay, this ROI set, okay, and if I want to save both, then I make sure either both are in blue or nothing is in blue. And the way to ensure nothing is in blue is to check these 2 boxes and uncheck them, and everything resets. Okay, I click save. Here I'll just do set1 underscore, or I always said zip. There you go. See, it's saved now, called set1 underscore ROI set.zip. See that? So that's how you create ROI set objects and how you create masks. Okay, so let's create a mask of the ear. And so I'm going to go File, New Image. By the way, there is a shortcut, keyboard shortcut. I do the long way for illustrator purposes. Okay, and Fiji remembers the dimensions that I put in last time, so it's the same one, so I didn't change them. So I go here and I click Show All. Okay, and if I want to do just the ear, I click on that. But unfortunately, because I use the line segment tool, okay, when you click on the ear, it shows all the squares too, right? And you don't want those part of your mask, right? And that's just one of the drawbacks of using the line segment tool, okay? And so if I want to have the ear only, what I need to do is delete the eye, okay? And this is ear only, see, eye is gone. Now click on this, and then when I click Show All, you see that? With only one object in here, then I see this object without any white squares. Okay, this is the outline of his ear. All right, and then I click Flatten, and then this is the mask of his ear outline. Okay, and I can do File. Okay, Save As. I just click Control S. Okay. All right. Then let me click this. We'll call it. Okay. Boo Bear left ear mask. Okay, and it automatically saves as a TIFF file. See that? If I double click on this, this is what you get. This is the mask of his left ear. Okay, and this is the image that you would feed into Shape Genie, the mask.